good lately.
Yeah, that outset definitely had. Oh, hit that man with the Will Smith. Love that. Good ball.
Super Smash Bros. A series that I absolutely adore, but it also has some of my most infuriating nitpicks that sometimes make me question my love for it. Something I love about this series, especially with its recent entries, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, is that it really feels like a celebration of its roster. It really wants to make the playable characters feel like they got ripped straight from the games they came from and got placed in this crazy environment, taking a lot of tools from the original source material, like their many moves, for example. Except not really. Especially the characters that have appeared earlier before Smash 4 and Ultimate. Some of their moveset really doesn't feel like they're being made to their fullest potential and end up feeling really outdated. To list some notable examples from the top of my head, Mario's most recent reference that's part of his moveset came from a f***ing 2002 entry that appeared in the damn GameCube. Everyone who's familiar with Smash knows Ganondorf's whole deal, so I don't need to elaborate on that. Yo, what's good, Mock Rock? I don't know if you're watching this, but if you are, thanks, GOAT. Good question, what do you think of Skylanders? Many moves for the Fire Emblem characters overlap like crazy, and really makes you wonder how the developers not recognize this. Wario still has a lot more tools up his arsenal from the Wario Land games and Wario World that Smash doesn't cover since they're too focused on making WarioWare define Wario. And Sonic was a product of being rushed out the door because of Sakurai's lack of Sonic knowledge at the time of Brawl, making him feel really stale and unhealthy. Many of the characters with lackluster representation could have had some renovation by each entry over time, but Sakurai has this weird ideology of not wanting to change a character's moveset out of fear of alienating players.
I love a lot of Smash.
You know what? I'm gonna hear
very interesting. For something after
not coming to play.
Even outside of these examples, which people were mostly big fans of, this type of thinking ends up doing injustice for a lot of characters that either they can have horrid reputation in actual gameplay and or the characters will feel sanitized and not explored that well despite being functional. For me personally, the one character in Smash that sticks out badly in this topic is Kirby, aka Sakurai's own baby. Looking at Kirby's moveset in Smash, it's so nothing burger. It's just a bunch of kicks and punches. That's it. You wanna know what makes Kirby stand out in his games? His copy abilities. Kirby has such a diverse range of abilities that can do several different things, but all they make him do is just foot attacks that overlap with other characters who can do the same thing. And his actual copy abilities are primarily in specials, which are problematic moves. Like, really problematic. So for fun, I've decided, how can I make Kirby's moveset pop out a lot more than it currently is? That's what this video is for, spicing up what Kirby can do. Now, I want to mention, this is just what I personally had in mind, whatever my imagination can come up with. If you don't agree with what I've expressed, that's totally fine, and I can respect your opinion. And also, I want to lay out some clarifications for this video. I'm very aware of this whole balancing discord when it comes to fan movesets, and just generally how representation in movesets should be handled in Smash. What I will say is that I've already gone over how lack of representation in a moveset ends up making a character not feel truthful to their source material and could end up affecting gameplay reputation badly in the case of Sonic. But I also understand how staying too true to the source material can also end up having gameplay ramifications, like what happened with Min, Steve, and Bayonetta, at least in Smash 4. In this case, I've tried my best to not pull out something absurd like Kirby casually doing this, or this, or this. Also, something funny about the nature of this topic is that people are used to what we already have for some characters in Smash. An example I want to use is Ganondorf. Many people want his moveset changed completely to fit more in line like how he is in the games. But a lot of us also agree that he's just fun to play, and some of his moves are too iconic or useful to be thrown away, like his up air, down air, side special, etc. With this in mind, I didn't want to completely change Kirby too much and keep why people love playing as him. Oh, I'm just covering the actual moveset. I don't care for costumes nor stats, and also I won't talk about damage and frame data. That's getting too specific for how I want to present this video. No hard numbers, pretty much. And I might have similar ideas to other videos at the same topic. I didn't watch any of them, so I don't get too influenced, and it'd be funny to see what ideas I did end up sharing. Now, with all that out of the way, here's how I would revamp Kirby's moveset. So, for a more universal addition for Kirby, he'll gain a hat for whatever move Kirby performs, such as his Rapid Jab, a quick move to throw out that deals some damage and helps someone back off. It's as simple as a jab can be, it remains exactly the way it is. Also, I do want to add a 3-hitting jab variant aside from a Rapid Jab, where the third hit will be reusing his original forward tilt animation. Also, for what I mean with the universal edition, this jab will make Kirby wear the fighter hat, which the move originates from. Kirby's forward tilt will have him use a whip from his whip ability, being much like the Belmont prolongs forward tilt, but not as long considering how short Kirby is. It's a good spacing tool for Kirby's kit, and can also be used as like a get off me tool, with maybe the ability to kill, who knows. His original forward tilt is known to surprisingly kill. His up tilt will have him sweep a broom above him from his cleaning ability, being similar to Isabelle's up tilt. It's an amazing neutral tool that can be used for comboing and follow-ups, plus the tool being a broom can help it be more of a sword tool, enhancing its anti-air purpose. Down tilt will have Kirby sweep a brush from his artist ability, still functioning like how his down tilt originally is. A simple quick poking tool along with potential as a combo tool, and keeping the trip is funny. I know people hate that feature of down tilt and other Smash moves, but I think it's funny. The brush also comes with an added ink effect from the Inklings, which makes the opponent get more damage the more ink is on them. His dash attack will remain the same as it is in Ultimate, being based on the burning ability, which he'll get the hat from, of course. A literal strong burst option that can flame opponents away, but does get weaker the further it goes. Nothing needs to be changed about this really, it's perfection in my eyes. Better than the one he had in Smash 4. His forward smash will now be a hammer. Now, I know what you're gonna say.
Hey, but that's its side special already.
Look, I can definitely see how you can buff his side special by making it more like how it is in Brawl, or his custom move in Smash 4, aka Hammer Bash. But if I'm being honest, the move functionally seems boring when you consider what else Kirby can do with his copy abilities. Hammer as it is currently is pretty much a shittier alternative smash attack. No one used it seriously in Smash 4 and Ultimate. Don't worry, I have something else in mind for side special. Still, I didn't want to discard Hammer entirely as it's still a very iconic copy ability for him. So for its forward smash, Kirby will simply swing his hammer to knock someone out of the park, and charging it burns the hammer like if you hold its side special normally. Up smash will be his needle ability, where he'll pop out needles above him, launching the opponent's highest they get stabbed, being a great anti-air move and even helps with attacking opponents from behind since that area is weak in the original up smash. And the last ground move we have is down smash, which will be the spark ability, functioning much like how Pikachu's custom move Thunderburst works, but biggerish. Kirby now discharges electricity around himself, shocking opponents around him before they fly off. Any chance I get to incorporate a custom move into something, I'll take the chance for it. Now for his aerials, Kirby's neutral air will be using his Doctor ability, having him twirl bandages around himself. He pushes opponents away and lasts for a bit, making it pretty good as an edge guarding tool, much like how his original neutral air is. Kirby's forward air will be a 3-hit attack, much like the original forward air, but he swings his bells from his bell ability 3 times instead of using his feet because being attacked by bells is really hilarious. I'm proud of this idea. His back air will have Kirby use his wing ability, sprouting his wings back to knock opponents away. Animation-wise, it's similar to Corrin's back air, but it won't push Kirby forward as I don't want it to affect his momentum. His upper will actually be a more unique move. Kirby will use his staff ability to perform what's essentially Ike's old up air in Smash Brawl and 4 because I miss that move a lot, and one of the ways to add it in but not replace his ultimate up air because that move is fucking absurd and I love it. Lastly for his aerials, his down air will have Kirby use his animal ability from Kirby's Squeak Spot, and a crazy choice I'm aware considering the ability is stuck in that entry and I'm not sure how many people actually remember that ability. The move functions much like how it originally is, but the animation will have him drill upside down in his animal outfit, plus the claws can help him make it a semi-sword move like Mii Sword Fighter's down air. Why do you ever want to change Kirby's down air? It's so iconic and annoying for a reason. Now this is where the fun really begins. Neutral special functions the same, no duh, this is what makes Kirby iconic in the first place, how he gets his copy abilities. Although I will change it where the wind box will now have command grab properties, much like how Mewtwo's side special functions as a command grab, because I find it so stupid how shielding nullifies inhaling completely, like, just shield and you get to escape free. It will not even let him inhale. What is this? Also, when Kirby does inhale someone, he obtains their hat, and I already put up a cosmetic gimmick with him, so what do I do with that? Well, Kirby will just hold on to his opponent's hat until he loses his opponent's ability, which then he'll go back to constantly switching hats in his normals. Side special, however, is something completely new as I hinted earlier, that circus ability. Kirby will spawn up to 3 batons and use them as projectiles which will travel in a constant motion like this without slowing down. If you hold side special, he can juggle all 3 batons to put them on fire, which increases its power. It's a more interesting choice for a side special, personally, as opposed to a secondary smash attack you can also use in the air. It's crazy how Kirby has so much projectile copy abilities and yet he has none in Smash. No, that doesn't count! Down special is still the stone ability, but with some changes. If Kirby's on the ground, he'll jump for a sand transform into stone, giving him a sort of panic dodge option if catch my drift. When Kirby is running, he'll transform into stone, which can slide into his opponents as an alternative dash attack, but it doesn't hop at start. The aerial version works exactly the same. I was thinking it should have had a spiking hitbox at the starting frames, but I realized that would negate KO potential in situations where stone would absolutely kill. Here's my favorite change. His up special will replace the cutter ability with the sword ability. His original up special is such a fucking garbage move. I already stated that I won't bring up frame data, but I really need to bring up hard numbers just to explain how horrendous Final Cutter is. Final Cutter starts at frame 20. It's a horrendous close quarters tool because it's not really that effective. And the up and down motion makes recovering a fucking hassle more than it needs to be for a character meant to be simple and for someone who has horrendous air physics. The sword ability will function more like a certain custom move of Kirby's, Uppercutter. In Smash 4, Uppercutter makes Kirby slash upwards really quick, and it's a phenomenal move on Kirby. It's frame 6 in that game, meaning it's amazing as an out of shield option, which he desperately needs. I don't know why Samus has that, Kirby needs it more than Samus. A great anti-air is fast, snaps easier on ledge along with generally being more easier to recover with, and a great combo finisher with potential to kill. It's a fantastic move that Kirby deserves to get, and the sword ability has Kirby do a similar upward slash, which is why up special uses the sword ability instead of cutter to be more game accurate. I miss uppercutter. Oh, and lastly, I'll also be covering grabs and throws. Yeah, I'm modifying these moves as well. Although Pummel will stay the same, having him repeatedly punch his opponents. Kirby will now have a tether grab, using his spider ability to shoot out webs at someone to bring him to him. In the air, however, Kirby will equip his beam ability, using his wand to fire a string of energy balls. Forward throw and up throw functions the same, except Kirby gets awesome new hats that correspond with the original attacks. Wrestler for forward throw and Ninja for up throw. Although that up throw should kill, why is it bad at that? Down throw will now have Kirby use the Beetle ability, drilling down his horn at his opponents before launching them away instead of stomping over them. And the final move I want to change is back throw, which will have Kirby use his ESP ability. Pretty much just Ness back throw, but weaker. It can still kill, but more so at later percentages. I thought it'd be funny if Kirby had something like this. So yeah, that's what I could think of for a fresh new Kirby moveset.
Yo, you forgot the get-up attacks!
Anyways, if you recognize some sort of pattern with this whole moveset, a lot of the moves are primarily cosmetic changes. Yeah, as I said, people are just used to how the characters in Ultimate play, and I know people love playing as Kirby. Hell, I mostly love how he functionally plays. Also, Kirby has always been made to be a beginner-friendly character, much like how Mario and Pit plays, and I wanted to keep that nature for Kirby while still finding ways to make his moveset pop out more. Plus, adding something funky here and there that can help benefit that beginner-friendly style. I feel like this is the best way to make Kirby feel like Kirby without doing all sorts of crazy shit, like adding some command inputs and making this feel too fan-like, if that makes sense. Nothing too huge, just visual changes, which I hope is enough to please people. And that's all I have for this video. This is more of an experimental video, and no, I'm not a Smash Bros channel. Don't expect videos like this to happen often, as that's not what I really want to do here. I'd be open to doing something similar like this again in the future with characters who never even made it to Smash, like Crash Bandicoot or f***ing Blastertron from Skylanders. Also, if a Smash 6 ever happens anytime soon, please make some custom moves that's regular moves like what happened with Explosive Flame for Politan, and please I beg for this to happen with Ganondorf and Kirby and Toon Link and Sheik and Mega Man and Lucina and Daisy and Bowser and Dr. Mario, man.